All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tom Vays. Hopefully, there's no audio problems this morning. And let me make sure that I'm not on. This is taking a little while to load up. I'm not. I'm on mute for a change. Okay. Yep. We're all good. And now let's go straight to the charts. Socrates is actually still sleeping. I wasn't able to get Willie, unfortunately. I was trying to get Willie the last couple of days. Willie's been really, really busy. He's going to take a little bit of a break, but hopefully we can get him on the show in a week or two. But we will have to do as best we can without one of our best analysts. Hey, guys, I was thinking about it this morning, and I can't believe I totally goofed on this. Usually I'm a little better to macro trends, at least I used to be. The moment Twitter banned Trump's account, Twitter became a shortable shit stock. The only thing that saved Twitter the last 5 years was Trump. Trump was basically their meal ticket. Other than crypto Twitter, it was Trump. There was only basically two things kept Twitter stock alive. And Jack Dorsey has no fucking idea what's coming. So first of all, the crypto people, we're ready to leave. The question is, where are we leaving? Mastodon is a potential. I'm not a big fan. I have my Mastodon account. I have no idea how to access my Mastodon account. Also, I'm not a big fan of the federated model, even though it is a bit censorship resistant. It comes with a dozen other problems. There are potentially other options. Now, all the Republicans it looks like they're going to Gab, which unfortunately someone squatted the tone-based username. So unless I can get Gab to get that username for me, I'm going to have a problem using Gab because it screws up. It just opens up the door to more scammers if my usernames are different across platforms. And there is another option I'm looking into. I don't want to. I'm still concerned they may have a shitcoin. I want to make sure that they don't. And if they don't, it looks great. It has Bitcoin integrated all through it. BTC Pay server on the back end. People can subscribe and donate immediately with Bitcoin through. It's another Twitter competitor. Someone told me about it yesterday, but I would love to reach out to the founders first, just to be sure, because it's a big decision. I'm almost ready to leave Twitter. I don't give a shit about Twitter. And I think Twitter stock is going to take a monster hit. YouTube, I'm not going anywhere yet, but if they ban me, I'm ready to, stream wherever. This is a really big deal. The censorship is a really, really big deal, and it's going to affect those markets. I think Twitter was one of the worst offenders with what they were doing. Obviously, what's Amazon Web Services did to Parler, things are going to severely change, and these platforms are going to get punished, hopefully sooner than later. And so that's one quick thing I wanted to comment on. Trump's account got banned, I believe, on the 6th. And that was an amazing short trade immediately at Gap this morning, obviously. And that's when I realized it. One of the guys here said, "Hey, Tone, did you see the Twitter Gap?" And I'm like, oh, fuck, Twitter would be getting crushed, because I remember saying a long time ago, Trump saved Twitter. And I thought Trump was going to buy Twitter when he got out of office. But considering what a major boost Trump has been, just go back 4 years on Twitter and look at their stock. Look where their stock was when Trump got elected. It was a $13 stock. Look at their stock today. It was a $55 stock at just last week. I would say 75% of the rise of Twitter was literally Trump. And he's responsible for this stock gain, and he's going to be responsible for Twitter's collapse. Because Twitter was on the verge of collapse if it wasn't for Trump using Twitter. The monthly MRI certainly helped. It was right there at the low of Twitter back in 2016 right here. Boom, there's your support. So this is Trump basically using Twitter as his main. Wow, I can really use a drink here. No, it doesn't have to be wine. I've been drinking. Yeah. Yeah, just water or something, because we didn't boil the tea. If not, then like tequila will do. It was a little early though. It's losing my voice right now this morning. So anyway, just consider that Twitter is in deep fucking shit. Why would anyone? Thanks, man. Why the hell would anyone use it now? It's going to become like this liberal socialist platform, and just like what happened with Fox News. Like Fox decided to go away from its Republican roots, and the Democrats ain't gonna watch Fox, and now Republicans aren't watching Fox. So who the hell is watching Fox now? The answer is no one. And the same thing's gonna happen with Twitter. So now let's go to Bitcoin. Now that we have more people watching. So Bitcoin took a major dip early this morning, and it bounced. It fell below $31,000. Now, of course, I am still looking at this as a 1 to 4 candle correction. Now, these arrows were drawn like almost 10 days ago. These arrows were drawn on the 5th. Oh no, I didn't literally mean tequila. No, I was joking. I was joking about a tequila. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'll drink some. Yeah, we still got plenty of tequila, but we got to leave in a few hours. Not everybody uses Twitter for politics. Again, not everyone has to use Twitter for politics, but enough people use Twitter for politics to severely start to make Twitter irrelevant based on their censorship. Now, Bitcoin is still going down, but let's get back to Bitcoin here. Here's the daily chart. The daily chart is the most important chart right now for me because we are in the middle of a 1 to 4 candle correction. And I mean, these arrows were drawn earlier, but this arrow is more time-based than price-based. I really thought this pullback would not be as bad as it is. Now, I don't mind this pullback being this bad. First of all, I was able to pick up more GBTC first thing in the morning. Now it's probably in a slightly losing position for me for the day, but I'm okay with that. I still have a little more powder I can use to buy more if it goes lower. Now, I think this is a healthy 1 to 4 candle correction. And now, normally these 1 to 4 candle corrections in uptrends are not this deep. They're not this deep from a percentage level. This correction puts us a little bit in the middle of no man's land. It is, you have a 27% peak to peak and about a 23%. What's going on?
Okay, so Tony, in the last 20 minutes,
yeah,
pretty much what's happening is in the last 20 minutes, we've gotten reports now that Politico that FedEx is going to,
can I go to Twitter?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Breaking news, breaking market news.
Let's see. This could be important.
Yeah, in the last 20 minutes, we've seen basically a huge dump. Washington.
What, breaking 911?
Yeah, breaking markets. No, they literally just follow the
like when you type in BRE, the second person that shows up is Brianna Sparks. This is why you have to be really careful of Googling. So it's a breaking 911. What's the
breaking markets?
Breaking markets.
Yeah, breaking markets. Yeah, they just follow like Zero Hedge and stuff and like repost. It's a lot of the same people are reposting stuff. But the House now has the votes for impeachment for Donald Trump. They do have the votes right now. That's the report. The Capitol just closed. Which building did they just secure? The Washington Monument has been closed due to safety concerns.
The Washington Monument is a freaking like a wall of cement.
It's just
what's gonna happen?
American Express has now joined the companies that are not going to contribute to Congress and Senate anymore. There's a huge group of companies now that are going to stop political donations. AT&T, American Express, a lot of huge companies are stopping it. And this is all dropped in the last like 20, 30 minutes. The Forex market is reporting a cyber incident as well. It's really weird. It's like the last 20 minutes. It's just a lot of really crazy news has dropped all at once.
Angela Merkel condemns censorship of press. Yeah. American Express joined major companies in suspending Everyone's gonna start adopting Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, this is so bullish for
bullish.
Bitcoin. This clusterfuck that is the U.S. federal government
Mhm.
is literally, we're witnessing the collapse of the U.S. federal government. Trump is still president for another 8 days, and he can still arrest the fuck out of these Democrat politicians.
Yeah.
He can do it. While they're trying to impeach him, he might be throwing them in prison.
Maybe.
Mexico doesn't seem like a bad option. Politics are really important right now. They really, really are. I don't know how accurate this stuff is. This account only has 22,000 followers, which is, 90x less than me. So I don't know how freaking relevant it is. But let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. Are we making new lows yet? Not yet, but we're about to. That's okay. I'm still looking at this as a correction. Now, here are my support levels that I am not concerned. To me, this is a buy the dip correction. There are 3 levels of support. One of them is at 27.8, the support line from the MRI. Another one is the 50-period moving average, which would be awesome if we can hit it, which also happens to be the consolidation level from a couple of MRIs ago, tops. This is a great support cluster. This entire cluster right here is an absolute awesome support cluster for me to buy the dip. Now, I was happy to buy the dip here. It was good enough for me, but I don't mind if this thing continues down. I have no problem with this dip. It still should take 1 to 4 days. I am still on the 1 to 4 day bandwagon. So I got in on the second day, so I'll miss it by a couple of days. I'm okay with that. I still think this thing is going to reverse. There's also other crazy news going on. What did I do with that article that you sent me? It's right here. So the banks now don't want to take your money. This is absolutely fucking incredible. Your legally earned money from selling Bitcoin, the banks aren't taking your money. So if a bank doesn't want your government issued currency of the country, why the fuck does anyone need a bank? So this is like some of the best bullish news I've seen in forever. If you can sell your Bitcoin at Coinbase, you can get US dollars. Well, this is the UK version. You can sell your Bitcoin at Kraken for pounds, but the bank doesn't want your pounds. So fuck them. Right? Like they are really cannibalizing themselves, and just like Twitter, like they're like biting off the hands that are feeding them. Like this is going to create more Bitcoin hodlers. This is going to tell people, if the bank doesn't want my fucking dollars, why do I need a bank? I'm just going to stay in Bitcoin. Why am I even selling Bitcoin? The only reason to sell Bitcoin is to put the dollars in the bank. If the bank is not taking your dollars or pounds, you're going to stay in Bitcoin. This is unreal.
The House is voting at 11 a.m., by the way, for the impeachment.
This is a political show. Everything that's happening right now in our entire financial system has to do with the U.S. political system. Yeah. You guys just don't get it.
I mean, if you want to see politicians squirm, they're seeing corporations pull donations to their causes. This has always been the end game scenario, is if the corporations find enough of them hit a critical mass and start pulling donations, this is finally might wake up some of the politicians and maybe get them on the right side. But I mean, that's hopes and dreams, but still. Like right now with the political systems imploding and even countries at each other's throats, like if the European government is mad at the US government, half of the US government is in bed with China. The other half is trying to be independent, even though it's accused of being in bed with Russia. If they impeach Trump, see, this time it's different. If they impeach Trump right now, if Trump is arrested in the next 10 days, he will never see the light of day. He will never have a fair trial. It will be a kangaroo court. This could also start a fucking revolution by Trump supporters, not to mention Trump might flee to Russia, which would also be insane. That would be wild. I mean, Angela Merkel said that she condemns the censorship of President Trump and says it's problematic.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, and this is Merkel, like, you know,
And
she's
Merkel,
not like the
and,
biggest, you know.
and Merkel ain't exactly, you know, for your freedom either.
Yeah, she's more globalist than anyone. I mean, like, she loves the EU setup. She built it, for God's sakes. I mean, she helped build the like the last 20 years of it.
So we did just make a new low. I'm liking the divergence here. This is the hourly chart. This is the hourly RSI. I like the RSI divergence. I got to check the MACD. The funding rate is still actually favoring the bears, which is absolutely incredible. But again, we're not sure how to read the 1 hour chart. The 4 hour chart is still looking very, very bearish. But remember what I said, there was a MRI bottom coming. I even forgot. I talked about it yesterday. The MRI bottom, maybe I should have been a little more patient. I should have waited for my MRI bottom on the 4 hour. I just realized it because of this morning. Again, we're still in a house, like 4 people hanging out. And last night did run a little later than I wanted. Why is my MRI not working? What am I missing here? Sometimes the trading view times out. This should be an MRI buy. If not this candle, oh, boom, right there. So I didn't do that bad. I bought at the bottom of this candle, but maybe I should have waited till this candle. I believe this 4 hour MRI buy, especially if we can hold the support line, this is the candle. I think we will bounce. There's a chance we will bounce this candle. I'm basically taking this trade. I got in a little bit earlier. You can get in. I mean, this is not trading advice, but right now my position is slightly in the red, but I am buying this dip. The 4 hour is giving me an MRI buy. The MRI has been excellent on the 4 hour chart. Just as we go back, you can see right here, there was a beautiful MRI sell. This one, not great. This one was okay. We topped the following candle. This MRI top gave us a multi-day consolidation. This MRI top gave us a pullback. MRI has been good. We haven't had too many buy opportunities. They've mostly been selling opportunities. And I want to, and someone else, one of my good MRI, someone that understands MRI really well, had a really good idea. And I want to take a look at it. No, it was more than that. Missed it by one. Missed it by one MRI. Well, one over by one MRI, I mean. Yeah, this is, we are still going down. There's a lot of panic going on, but I think panic is going to go back into Bitcoin very, very soon. Sand Snake, I bought this dip tone. Question, do you see a head and shoulders in gold daily? Your thoughts? I'm not sure if you have already answered. And Mexico is good right now. Yeah, Mexico is looking good right now. Yeah, no, I mean, like this whole zone to me is a good buy the dip zone, especially this area here. Like now that we're breaking 30, I think we're going lower because there's no support here. I'm looking at that 4 hour chart. I don't like the current price. At this point, I may be looking back into my trading account and loading up in this zone. So at this point, I'm looking at sub 28. Now, there were a couple of things going on. If we go to the bigger look, at some point, we need to come back to 20,000. At some point. We can do it now, we can do it later. And by 20,000, I mean 22, 23 is good enough. I don't see us going lower than that at this point. The moving average is rising quickly. This could certainly be it. I still think the weekly MRI can happen. In order to make the weekly MRI, the hardest candle is going to be next candle, which is very likely. I mean, we just got to stay above this close, actually. No, the hardest candle is going to be the last candle. This is looking pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry, this candle. Yeah, so it's going to be hard to get an MRI top. We would need to reverse this, which I think we will. What's going on now? Dow suspending all contributions to all lawmakers who voted to object to the certification of the presidential election. Okay, so
like Matt Gaetz, Cruz.
So they're suspending Republicans that refused to that were saying there was voter fraud.
Correct.
Okay, So we're about to have a ridiculous political divide in the US.
The corporations are picking and choosing.
Right.
They're all picking and
wow,
choosing right
that
now.
is incredible. And you know what? Bitcoin solves this problem. And I tweeted, well, I couldn't tweet at Trump, but here's the thing. So Trump has been anti-Bitcoin. And look at his tweet. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money, and those and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activities. But I expect every single, well, wait, is American Express on the which side are they? Are they on the communist side or are they on the capitalist side?
We're on, sorry, I'll double check for you.
Because American Express, they said they were going to stop funding on the, I think on the other side.
Yeah, American Express said they are.
It's so ironic that the Dow, which is responsible for the capitalistic stock market, is choosing the communists over capitalism. It's amazing. Yeah, it's so like you can't make this shit up.
American Express is joining other major companies in suspending contributions to lawmakers who oppose the Biden certification. So American Express is on the same
right. So they're on the communist side as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So here's what's going to happen. So American Express and Visa and MasterCard and probably PayPal, because they're on the communist side as well, they're very likely going to cut off payment services to all of Trump's businesses. They're going to cut off Trump hotels. They're going to say, if you cannot use our credit cards, you cannot use our merchant services in your hotels. Mm-hmm. And Trump is going to realize real quick that Bitcoin isn't always for illegal drug trades and illegal activity. It's also to allow people to stay in your hotel by paying in Bitcoin directly, because I'm sure he's got tech guys that can implement BTC Pay Server. If I can do it, Trump's guys can do it. Okay? So get ready for a monster divide, and it all has to do with money. It's all money. Look at the announcements.
Ford just pulled all contributions to both sides. They're going to relook at it. It just came out, and the GOP has stopped Nancy Pelosi's 25th Amendment move. It just came out, disclosed TV.
But how? Like they don't have a majority.
I think they got enough. It's saying that they did. I'm waiting for a legitimate article for that exact one right now, but it did just come out that Nancy has failed, or that she might not have enough. But I'm waiting for confirmation on that one.
So this is going to be crazy. This is going to be completely crazy. So it's like, I don't know what to say. Also, please watch this video about COVID. Please do it. Wow, it's got a lot of likes already. This is an absolute excellent video. I mean, I hope it doesn't get taken down by YouTube. But these platforms, I'm potentially looking to get off Twitter. I'm potentially looking to get off YouTube. Now it's time to start looking for alternatives. And Bitcoin is going to take over, and people will find us at this point because.
Okay, so now everyone's reporting Zero Hedge, and everyone else is now saying that she has just introduced the articles of impeachment. So I don't know if someone else was.
Why? How are they impeaching him? He's supposed to be out in 10 days.
It's like, what's the
like what the? Don't they have better things to do? Have they forgotten about COVID and like paying people off?
Right. It's like, why do they want to flame that war? They already won. Biden's the president. Like Biden's going.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. The 4-hour candle is turning into a doji candle. We still have 3.5 hours to go. I'm liking, like I said, I'm liking this dip either now or soon. GBTC is still holding the lows of the day, which is pretty damn good considering we just made new lows. I'm liking this dip right here. And worst case scenario, this is my ultimate dip. This is where I might, I put my condo up for sale. Like this is, mentally I did. I still have to talk to some realtors. Like I put it up for sale myself, but I don't have time to manage that. So I'm taking cash out. Family members that are now worried about their dollars. These are the same family members that have been working in finance longer than me and have been making fun of me about Bitcoin for the last 4, 5, 7 years. And then they're like, shit, what do we do with our money? Really, really scared. We're about to have a retail rally. And it's also possible we're going to have a major dive. Now, you have to keep one thing in mind. I don't do double bottoms. So you see, because this red arrow came down so low, this arrow will not be that low. If we can get a 40% correction now, that's it. That's the correction. That is your ultimate dip for the year. If we can go down 40% this week, then this arrow is no longer like that. Then potentially this arrow goes higher. Potentially this arrow goes higher, this arrow goes lower, or this arrow goes lower, little dip, then big breakout. So pick your poison. Do you want to fall into the 20s this week, or do you want to fall into the 20s next month? Either way, it's happening. The question is when. And as long as you don't enter these positions with too much leverage, thinking you're smarter than the market, you'll be fine. So right now, I did extend this arrow down, even though I don't think it's going to be down. I really think this correction is almost over. I don't mind it going lower, and I still think there's going to be a scare. Like, this market is not going to be easy. It's never easy to trade these markets. Like, I may or may not go to Washington, D.C. for the 9th and the 10th to just watch this. Like you're watching the collapse of the U.S. political system, which is how a country falls. I mean, Britain didn't have a collapse of their political system when they fell. Britain, the U.S., got rid of them back in the 1700s, but they still kept power for a while, and World War I to come out financially. But other nations fall through their political system. For example, Rome fell because of their political system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was going to say, okay, so the House did block the quick removal of Trump, but they still issued the articles of impeachment. But they have to, when they do it this way, they have to wait for Mike Pence. Pence has a week to respond, essentially, to this new article. Also, and Tone, have we ever seen a point in time where we've seen this many major companies either pull funding or choose sides all of a sudden like that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this, right?
I mean, I haven't seen it because U.S. has always had political stability,
right? And
Europe has had political stability, not this corporate divide between the right and the left. This is really, really serious. And here's the thing: if your money is getting divided, people will find a way to have neutral money. Like, you don't need American Express. You don't need them. You don't need these corporations at this point. Corporations need politicians, to buy. Now, they're aligning with the Democrats, but if the people don't go along with it, like, every single financial company needs to be fucking scared, because Bitcoin can make them irrelevant. And there's nothing they can do. I mean, this is the biggest stupidity ever. The bank will not take their government currency. Yeah. Because of the way you legally made that currency. This is insane.
It is.
This is absolutely insane. We're at 2,700 live viewers, guys. Holy shit. My records, I'm going to break a 20. Wow. I really wanted to get Willy Woo this morning. Would have been great. How confident are you on the 23,000 final bottom? I'm pretty damn confident. I would be surprised if we even get that low.
Yeah.
I really think, like, everyone that missed out on this run up in the last 40 days is trying to buy right now. Usually people are like scared to buy this dip. I don't think anyone is scared to buy this dip. Like retail is about to buy this dip, assuming the financial sector doesn't like stop them.
If you're wondering if the dip's going to continue, look around at your friends and family, and if they don't have Bitcoin or they're starting to accumulate and they're short Bitcoin, that should be your own personal gauge.
Look, since we have 2,500 people watching, I just dropped a few hundred. Oh, yeah. Look at it this way. I guarantee you that for the last few months, your friends and family have been like kind of envious of you for having Bitcoin. And this is your chance to tell them buy the dip. This is your last chance to tell them buy the dip. Because here's what I'm saying to my friends and family. If you don't buy this dip, I don't want to hear shit when Bitcoin's 100K. I don't want to hear I should have got in.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Like, we're not going to go to dinner if you're going to say the words, I should have bought in.
Yeah.
This is your last shot, this dip. Are we going to, are we reversing right now at 30? Are we going to go down to 20? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's going to go to 100 and probably quarter mil within this cycle based on what is happening politically. So if you're, this is the time, this is like for the first time in a while, I'm like, other than, well, like I didn't really tell a bunch of my friends to buy the dip back when it was 5,000, but this is the dip because you have to be, I'm so bullish on Bitcoin because of politics.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were going to go 100, 200,000 on this run without COVID or without politics.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like that was, I think really was always going to be the target. I think this scenario, what you're talking about politically and everything, like that has us the chance to run to 1 million. I think we could start front running the next halving because the evacuation out of the existing fiat system might be so dramatic and possibly.
And I love the fact that this dip is also happening from a technical perspective, right, from a TA perspective, in the middle of an amazing bullish environment. There is no reason for this dip from a fundamental perspective. None. This is all technical. And that's why I love this dip. This is one of the best dips we've had in a while because it's taking place from a TA perspective and it can fly in the other direction. It bothers me that gold is crashing. Look, gold is actually rebounding. Someone asked about head and shoulders on gold, inverse head and shoulders. I don't really see it. It's too lopsided for me. So I don't see a head and shoulders. Yeah. I really want to get my handle on Gab. If someone works for Gab that's watching this out of 3,000 people, can you guys get me my Twitter handle from a squatter, please? It's at Vays, like every other handle that I have. Because Parler looks like it's going down. I have another alternative to Gab that I may be using. I'll probably announce that soon. Because I want to leave Twitter. I don't want to support Twitter. YouTube is a little bit harder to leave, but Twitter ain't hard to leave. It bothers me even more that Jack is a Bitcoiner that can't, get his act together with his company. Oh, DXY. We were looking at that yesterday. Yeah. I also started this video by talking about Twitter. Oh, by the way, ETHUSD. I know we're talking shitcoins again. Look at how beautifully MRI called the ETHUSD top. I mean, I wasn't looking at it. I don't pay attention to it, but this is why if you trade and you have the MRI, I mean, this is as beautiful of a top. It called the top. It gave you a reversal candle, and it was a double extension end. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's as textbook of an MRI top as you get. Like, I need to take a screenshot of this to teach it. I think I mentioned something else recently. Like, I gotta take screenshot. Like, I'm gonna hopefully remember these next time I teach the workshop. But ETHUSD, I mean, again, this will probably because unfortunately this chart of
Dixie. Did you?
No, I'm going to the Dixie now. Oh, okay. What's going on with the Dixie? Yeah, Twitter is totally fucked as a company. DXY.
Now, I will say, guys, I know you guys like to look at the dollar for reversal, but you can't just only look at the dollar. You have to look at the debt market. You have to look at interest rates at the 10 and 30 because that gives you context. Because sometimes the Dixie will reverse, but treasuries will still continue to sell off, and that's a bullish indicator.
Hey, so I get in on this, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where's the actual? It's over there, I think. So I mean, like I said, the dollar could rally here, but I think the dollar is fucked. I've never been this bearish on the dollar in my life.
You're bullish on the Mexican peso.
I'm bullish on the Mexican peso. Hey, so all hell's breaking loose in Washington, man. They're trying to impeach Trump. Corporations are announcing they will not fund money. They will not process Republican payments that didn't vote for Biden. There's a whole divide. All corporations are going for the liberal, communist, Democrat. This is fucking incredible. So we're witnessing the collapse of the U.S. And this is coming from a guy that was making fun of the gloom and doomers for the last 5 years on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true.
You are witnessing it. Yeah. Like, I believe it when I see it, and I'm seeing it.
Absolutely.
The 4-hour is on an MRI buy right now. We are making new lows still, but that's okay. We still have 3.5 hours to go. I think this market is going to rebound today or tomorrow. But if it doesn't, I have one last chance to buy my dip right here. And I'm liking this dip very much.
And we have 2,800 watchers right now. Wow.
Yeah, we're almost at 3,000 viewers, man. So here's the daily chart. This is my ultimate. This is that 40% correction, and it's gonna go right into triple support here with prior swing high, prior consolidation. This one doesn't matter anymore, but we have the 50 period moving average. Right now, I still think this is our buying opportunity, but your indicators have flipped. So this is my daily. This is my 4-hour. It's on an MRI buy. I'm taking this dip now. And we're going to go to the, you want to see MSR on the 4-hour?
Yeah, we'll be coming up on a higher time frame buy for myself.
That's a nice buy for you right here at 29.
Absolutely. And this is something we kind of mentioned yesterday, where I'll be looking for a TD9 at the
MRI
area,
bottom.
The MRI bottom at the area of support from MSR as a big confluence, which would help me maybe adjust position sizing a little bit. So yeah, that is something else we were talking about yesterday, is kind of like the small, the medium, and the large dips. And right now, this is a medium sized dip for me, as long as it supports the 4-hour 200 EMA. That's a good, solid medium dip that I'm going to want to be getting in when the price moves 25% against a bull trend in this short amount of time. If it starts to break down the 4-hour, then that's where it becomes a real big dip that gets in danger of reversing the market structure. So as far as it stands right now, this is a good solid dip that we may get once every couple months in a strong bull market.
We can't answer this question. If you have 25K in cash, would you buy now or later? I wouldn't wait. Like, my answer is, if you don't have any Bitcoin, you should have bought it yesterday, though buying it yesterday would have sucked today. However, I like this area. Anything under 30K is good. I just don't see us going to below 20K with this political environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely, if somebody out there, if you have 25,000, you need to be considering that relative to your total assets. If you enter 25,000 into Bitcoin right now and you've got 10 million to your name and Bitcoin dumps to 20K, you're probably going to be fine and not too worried. Whereas if 25,000 is all the money you got to your name and you're really looking to bet bigger than you should because of how much you believe in this market, if you do enter the full amount, even at the exact bottom, you're going to end up fumbling the trade. So dollar cost average, always be buying. Buy every couple of weeks, set a plan in place and stick to it no matter what happens.
Let's go to the 1-hour chart. I really like this candle here because it also gave me a lot of divergence on the RSI, especially. I really like this bounce that took place this morning with the following candle starting to trade above it. But we have now traced that down. On the hourly chart, we got 3 more hours to go before another MRI bottom, which would still be in line with the 4-hour chart. The further down this swings, the better it is. I would love for this to swing down into 28 and swing back up to make some very tough decisions.
So Willie Woo just tweeted out, buys on Coinbase are not completing. Coinbase is $350 lower than the other exchanges right now, and it's throwing off the derivative indexes and likely impacting trade algos. And he retweeted Coinbase's post about it.
Oh wait, so we'll go to Willie's,
Willie
not
Woo's tweet.
Coinbase.
Yeah, Willie Woo's tweet.
Pull up Coinbase's chart, see what that's doing.
Yeah.
They didn't just make a new law like everyone else did.
But it's
We're investigating an issue impacting transactions on Coinbase.com and the mobile apps. Coinbase is so fucking incompetent. Buys on Coinbase are not completing. There it is. Again, buy this dip if you can, because on Coinbase, you can't even buy this dip. But people are panicking selling because they're not realizing that the price on Coinbase is probably falling faster because nobody can buy them. So when no one can buy something, it's a fire sale. You just want to get rid of it. This is why Bitcoin will double in price if Tether has a rumor of implosion, because some people won't know that Tether is imploding and they will take your Tether and you will get to buy Bitcoin. Again, these are more bullish environments. Anything in the 20,000 range, I think, is an awesome dip because we're heading to 100. This is why politics matter. And I still think we're going to rebound here. Now, the challenge becomes 28 is like the worst place for Bitcoin to reverse, because if it reverses at 28, I will have a very tough time trying to identify whether we still need to go lower below 25 at some point, or we're never going to see this again, kind of like what happened in 2017 when we pulled back to 1800. It created a big problem for my analysis. Everyone is different. I mean, sometimes I'm perfectly on the money or the sell 2 days ago. And so like here, when Bitcoin fell from 3,000 to 1,800, it was a bounce almost in the middle of nowhere, because on a weekly scale, we should have gone lower into an MRI buy. But on a daily scale, there was an MRI buy. I used the MRI buy for a 1 to 4 candle correction, anticipating us to reverse and make the ultimate low at the prior swing high, resetting the market. But we ended up going straight up because SegWit started to get confidence. And I became a bull. And we never saw 1,800 again, ever. And this could be the same thing. The current drop could be similar to that drop. I can't even put them on the same screen here. What if I do this? Just make it cleaner. This drop here off the weekly MRI top could be equivalent to what's happening right now. It can fall, but doesn't fall low enough to reset and then never sees that level again. I would like for it to go all the way back to 20 at some point, either now or next month, for the perfect reset, but we don't always get what we want.
We'll take another look at that phase 2 trend line we were looking at the other day. That's going to be my main.
On what scale?
The weekly.
Was it the weekly?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
The old or current?
The current.
How come I don't have it?
You might have had a separate Hyperwave chart.
Oh, I do, right. I do have a separate Hyperwave chart. Is this it?
I don't think so.
Bitcoin monthly, that's not it. This is it.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
So yeah, that is going to be the ultimate barrier for myself for this bull trend continuing the current rate that it's been going at. I would want to see a pullback, find support at the trend line at the worst, and the faster that it moves down, the lower the price of that trend line is. If it just moves sideways over the next 6 months, the trend line would continue progressing up to the price that we're at now. Whereas if it dips hard and fast and very quickly, that price is currently much lower. So that will be the boundary that I'm keeping my eye on as that a good area for the major dip, whereas this one is still just a medium dip for me.
Can I throw something completely crazy out now that I'm looking at it?
I don't see why not.
What if we ignore the hyperwave that already took place, which I know is weird, and we use phase 1 at approximately 1,300? and we run a phase 2, connecting the 2016 rise with the dip in December and the dip in March as a phase 2, and then phase 3 is actually here, and we're in the middle of a phase 4. Or does that not make sense?
Yeah, there's definitely the fractal nature of it.
No, this doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is phase 4s are not this long.
Yeah, no, that's where.
And that would also mean that because phase 4s are not this long, it would also mean that we're about to crash big time, and I just don't see it in this environment.
No, I don't either. But what you point out there is really interesting, and what could be the argument potentially
that this is a phase 3 that's going to come back to this line, which is at 21,000, but not till the end of the year, which would be, again, I just can't see it, not with based on what's happening.
Yeah, it's not going to be my interpretation right now, but it is something that's interesting because if we do use that 2 that you have drawn, that's like a 3 or a 4 year phase 2, and therefore you would expect a 3 or 4 year phase 3. And that would indicate that maybe this one would just be starting, and that a return to that could happen way down the road.
So I would need to try to draw this like, well, there's really not fudging it. It's not.
Yeah.
I wish it was steeper at this point then, right? Because it's just, it doesn't feel like, I mean, we could spike down to 13,000, but I think that's unlikely.
Yeah, that would be ruining the structure for me. And I think that's an interesting thing. I'm gonna have to give more thought.
You know what, so I don't want to spend, we have over 3,000 live viewers. We haven't had that in a while. The bull market is definitely back. Well, like the views are telling us the bull market is back.
And if you look at everyone's Twitter account, Dan Helg's making new all-time highs. If you hear Rashad's Twitter account.
Well, I'm too political. I'm still losing Twitter followers, which is fine.
But you can see the inflows.
Yeah. So is it possible that, I mean, Tyler never believed in this, but I always did. Is it possible that the hyperwave for Bitcoin needs to be adjusted a little bit based on stock to flow and the halvings? The halvings could be ruining clean lines on the linear chart. This is probably why we never came back to reset, and we stayed approximately double to the reset. And this is why you get these like abnormal moves that you can't draw straight trend lines on. Maybe the hyperwave lines need to be curved lines because of the acceleration of price due to restricted supply because of halvings.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. And that is one area where I agreed with you and always disagreed with Tyler in the sense that there was one thing that made Bitcoin different, and that is the halving schedule and the economic implications that has. So for myself, my phase 7 target of 1,000 became invalid once we halved. And I was talking about this as much as I could, that I did not believe that Bitcoin was going to 1,000 if it didn't do it before the halving. So after the...
Well, right, that was my view. And I said, after the halving, before the halving, 1,300 is a possible target. After the halving, it was 2,800.
Yep.
And we came close. We came down to 38.
Absolutely.
Well, it was right before the halving, but that was around the halving. And by that point, once 2020 started, my low end target now became 28, not 13. But the worst case scenario.
And I agree with that.
Backed, the ICE exchange Backed, just released their S1, and they're going to beat Coinbase to the public market.
What does that mean?
That means we're going to Backed will be the first public crypto exchange.
Like, going public.
Yeah, they're going to beat Coinbase going public. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. They're going to beat them going public. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's going to be exactly. Yeah, Backed is going to beat them. They're trying to raise $2 billion right now.
Yeah, Coinbase is so fucked.
Yeah, and I think there was one more thing.
We got a bunch of super chats. 15-minute chart. Yeah, we can glance at a 15-minute chart. Here's the 1 hour chart. I like this as the low. I still think we have a good shot or a rebound right here from the round 30K number. If not, 28 or all the way down to 25. They're all fine, reasonable dips. And I don't think this is going to last long. I think we're going to be bouncing back quickly. I don't think this is going to meander down there for a while. I think it's, you're not going to get too many shots here. I still think we're going to make a new high for the weekly MRI top, and then we reevaluate. This may not happen now. If this falls deep enough, then this is off the table. 15-minute chart. There's a 10-minute chart. I was looking at that earlier. Waiting for MRI. There it is. Oh, 10-minute chart is giving you a buy right now. I like it. Divergence. Yeah. 10-minute divergence. It's there. Slight, but it's there. Look at the funding rate. Like, I don't get it. Everyone's going long. Check the official. Just makes no sense.
It's like something weird was happening yesterday when it spiked to 0.3% and then disappeared before it actually printed. And I was on BitMEX platform.
15-minute chart is going to come up on its MRI buy unless we're rallying right now. I'm liking this dip. Like, I bought the dip this morning. Based on GBTC price, it's about the same. I didn't get hit much. I think I got it a little higher than that. Yeah, they're looking at the funding rate.
Yeah, I really don't like
from
that,
source.
Funding here on January 9th for 2 periods, we reset to 0.01, and that was all looking good. And then now, since we have been moving down, the funding has been spiking for longs needing to pay more and more to shorts, which is the exact opposite thing that I would want to see. It says that weak hands are buying this dip right now, which tells me that if this is going to be a time to a good price to buy, that there's going to be some nasty shakeouts that occur to reset those funding rates and to shake out the weak hands. I really don't want to see people piling in on the long side on a dip like this. I want to see them more scared and, running for the exit sign. So yeah, this is not definitely not what I would expect after a 25% move down, and a sign that maybe it needs to either move down further or consolidate with some sharp chop action before it would be ready to reset those again. That's something I'll be keeping a very close eye on. Funding rate just printed at 0.26, which is
unreasonably high.
Yeah.
That's
What's that, like 3%?
That's 0.75% per day to be long.
I thought it was per 8 hours.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it's daily rate. Okay, it's per day. They're charging you every 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, but it's weird, which is also why I think that we're gonna go up, print a new high, and then have a more significant correction after the inauguration.
That'll be very interesting. This is where I just have to stick to the charts when things are really going on in the world, and it's just so hard to understand the implications of all the fundamentals. I just really have grown a big trust for the indicators and tools that I use, and have to do my best to try to block out all the reasons screaming at me why I may not want to do what my indicator is telling me to do, because generally that's the best signals are the ones that I don't want to take.
Right. And I'm liking this 4-hour MRI buy, which if we stick around down there, is going to be in line with a 1-hour MRI buy coming up in about 3 hours.
Yeah, I like it too. This is a spot where I'm definitely would be looking to take a stab and using a stop.
Kraken is down.
Kraken's down too. I mean, yeah, it is pretty embarrassing for the crypto space that they can't get their tech together.
Willie is saying the on-chain though is looking good, even though the funding is looking it is looking bad. That the on-chain is still kind of looking bullish and everything. So, but yeah, that is crazy that Kraken's down too. FXCM trading report cyber incident too. So maybe it's all connected. That's what Willie's thinking at least.
I got some packing to do. I'll be down.
Yeah, I got my flight to Houston coming up too. Got to go pack. I'd love to stick around with you guys. We have 3,000 live viewers. I'll stick around for a little bit longer because I'm watching this as well. I mean, I'm invested. I just bought the dip, and I'd like to be. It's not even about the money. I'm having a YouTube channel with 3,000 live viewers. I want to be right. It's more important to me than money. But I bought the dip this morning. I'm not. It's possible we can go lower, but there's no reason to wait. I mean, anything in the 20,000 range is a good dip. Again, it all goes back to the political environment. The political environment in the U.S. is a shit show, and the U.S. dollar drives everything. And once the U.S. dollar really falters, that's it. Bitcoin, none of the other currencies are ready. The IMF is not ready. The central bank digital currencies aren't ready. There's one currency that's ready, and that's Bitcoin. As long as the Lightning Network holds up. I really wanted to give the Lightning Network another 6 months till the end of the year, at least, to like make it more user-friendly. But hey, desperate times will call for desperate measures. But I am certainly buying this dip. I've been calling for a 1 to 4 candle correction. It's been deeper than I expected. It's on its second candle, and I'm all right with that.
Didn't go down. It was their API crash.
Oh, the API crash, but that's a lot. A lot of people just automate with the API.
Yeah. Majority Leader Hoyer says there may well be a vote on impeachment this Wednesday.
Which is insane. How are you impeaching him? He's not even supposed to be president anymore. Tone, USD will only get better by Democrats winning all the houses. No, it won't. You have no idea how much money the Democrats are going to be printing. Their entire foundation is bribing the peasants. Fibbo has a question? What's the question?
Is it in Telegram? Yeah, it's on Telegram. Did you send it to Tony?
Yeah, I got it. Bought my shallow fib at 30,100. Yeah, I bought a little bit higher than you. I bought her about 31 or 30 something, but I bought this morning. GBTC premium was looking good, so I went in. Maybe. Fibbo does this. Fibbo is supposed to be here, by the way, doing this live with us. Deribit is down, apparently. I don't know. Everything is just going down. And
I wonder if they're back in the dollar system, like the fiat system.
Oh shit!
That's
Let me text
trouble.
Jimmy.
Like, is the forex market having the trouble, and that's why it's taking everyone else down too, or like what?
Jimmy Saul might be joining us to talk some news.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna see Jimmy. He should probably know I'm be in Austin in 2 days. Let's see if he wants to jump on.
Yeah. Jimmy and me.
With exchanges going down, where do you suggest we buy? I don't know.
That's why you need multiple.
That's-
Cash App.
Right. Cash App, ATM machines.
LN Strike is really good. Jack Mahler's product, Strike.
You know what doesn't go down? GBTC, because it's ran on the actual exchange with people that know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to finances.
But then you can't get your keys.
You can't get your keys. You can make money.
Yeah, you can make money. That is true.
All right, Jimmy's here. All right, I need a speaker. Hold on. Got screen share for a second. Get Jimmy on here. Wait. Speaker connecting.
Hello?
Microphone, speaker. Jimmy. Say something.
All right, cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah, tell us some news, man. I mean,
All
like,
right.
I covered some news this morning. The UK doesn't want to accept British pounds if you legally sold Bitcoin and profited. They're not taking your money anymore, which is incredible. The biggest bullish case for Bitcoin I've seen. God knows now with politics. By the way, Jimmy, I'm in Austin as of Tuesday.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's hang out. We can go and have some steak or something. Couple of things. I don't know if you covered this yet. Stripe is ending their association with the Trump campaign. For me, that is like amazingly bullish news for Bitcoin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I tweeted that out. Where's my Twitter? Yeah, so here, I covered it a little bit earlier. So I sent out the Stripe news. Great time for Trump to announce he's accepting Bitcoin. But it's more this one. Here's the other one I was talking about, where Trump hates Bitcoin and he says it's used for illegal activity. But I'm like, just wait till all of Trump's hotel properties are like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal are going to give him the back page and the WikiLeaks treatment. He's going to find out real quick how Bitcoin is not only used for drugs and illicit activity.
Yeah. I definitely, and the deplatforming of conservatives is going to like wake them up to the actual reality. Why are you trusting all of these like tech conglomerates and stuff like that? The only thing is, I think conservatives actually suck at coding, and that's kind of a problem because you need to be good at coding in order to create alternatives. I don't think Parler was ever that good in the first place. And the fact that they had dependencies on Amazon Web Services and Google and Android, obviously, and Apple, that made it very easy for them to basically die because, I don't think anyone can log into Parler right now. But this speaks to why Bitcoin is just so important and the benefits of decentralization. You can't, with Bitcoin, you don't have anyone that's able to do this to you. And that's a giant thing, as a lot of conservatives are finding out. So I sent you a link through Telegram, Tone. This for me is a really good summary of what Bitcoin core developers will be focusing on in the next year. This is by AJ Towns, who's a core developer. He's the one that sort of authored the Taproot stuff, and he's been shepherding it through core development. But he's talking here about security. He's saying, okay, we're gonna get like an 8 times increase in price. You also need 8 times the increase in security, because obviously people that are attacking you will have a lot more resources at their disposal if the reward is much higher, which is what's going on. So he goes through in this post, if you scroll down a little bit, a bunch of things that are his priorities for Bitcoin Core. So one of them is modularization. This is making things a lot more robust, easier to test, and so on. The peer-to-peer network, and this is a critical part of the Bitcoin infrastructure, is making sure that everything is actually decentralized. And that means that everyone that's running their own node is actually master of their own node, and so on. And making sure that the communication between them make a lot of sense. There's a lot of testing infrastructure that he wants to make sure are robust, and third-party validation. Right now, there's a lot of sites that are using Core for different data. We use mempool.space to on this show to show like what the fees are and so on. He thinks that a lot of that needs probably better support from Core. So really interesting stuff. It's written in language that you don't have to be a developer necessarily to know everything. But yeah, I mean, like you can tell that things are moving because there's a lot of blocks right now. 100, like it's the mempool is like 115 blocks deep, so that's a lot. Which means that we're also, I think difficulty increased by 10% just recently, so you're gonna get slightly slower blocks, which means that it'll pile up a little more. So. Yeah, the price stuff is really interesting. So Tone, what are your thoughts on Cash App and whether or not people should be buying using Cash App or something else?
I mean, I send people to Cash App. It's because I don't want them to support Coinbase. But
Cash App is also Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO of Twitter.
But here's the thing. I don't want to give away too much information. I may already know too much. Look, Jack is letting the socialists have Twitter so that he can do whatever he wants with Cash App. I don't think Twitter is his focus. I think he has mentally checked out of Twitter, and him being the CEO of Twitter is like the only good thing left about Twitter, because once he's removed as CEO of Twitter, Twitter is over. Like he might be, it's kind of like there's nothing he can do at this point. He's literally surrounded by communists at that point, at Twitter at this point. And it's like he almost doesn't want to leave because he, in my opinion, because he thinks that like he's trying to save whatever he can, but I think he knows it's over. And that's why Twitter didn't buy any Bitcoin, but Cash App did. And I think he's only going to be Cash App. I think Twitter's going to die anyway. I was showing it earlier. I was showing you the chart of Twitter, and I talked about this years and years ago, where if you look at the chart of Twitter, Twitter was ready to die. It was like talks of who's going to buy out Twitter, will they survive? And that was in early 2016 when the price of Twitter fell to $13.
Was that with the previous CEO? Because he's the one that made like some comment about shooting a bunch of conservatives or something recently.
One second. The thing with Twitter, this is where Trump starts his campaign. Twitter's entire survival, I think 80% of Twitter's survival was because of Trump. And they just deplatformed him. And
it's also a place for all the Bitcoiners too. That's not a small amount. Yeah,
that's changing as well. I have on my Mastodon account, but I don't know how to access it anymore.
I just got a Mastodon last night. I already have like 600 followers. I'm like,
I don't know how to access my account. Like, and the problem is, if it's not centralized, I can't get my account back. So I wouldn't be interested if I can't get my Twitter handle. So I have another option. I've been looking at all morning.
Well, you could go on Rodolfo's. I think it's bitcoinhackers.org.
No, I know that's the one that I have. That's the I have.
Oh, so you should message Rodolfo. I think he can help you because he runs that instance. So it's federated. It's not.
Well, that's my problem.
Centralized, but
Well, that's my problem with it, because it's federated. Someone else is going to take Tone Vays and Jimmy Song on other instances, and they're going to be scamming people, and that's my problem.
I mean, they're gonna do that anyway. They already do that on Twitter. I mean,
but that's because Twitter are idiots and they don't want to remove scammy accounts. But that's a choice.
I mean, this is why PGP signs stuff. So people can't come on. I mean, that doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't work for the people that aren't willing to actually verify if they trust too easily. I mean, this is the entire problem with the deplatforming that's going on. People trust these platforms way too much, and really they don't deserve it. The only reason we trust them is because we got our crap for free. I mean, that's really why we trust them, because we're forced to, because we got it for free. If we were paying for it, you'd bet they'd be a lot more sensitive to what we want instead of the people that are actually paying them, which are their advertisers.
All right, hold on, we got a question. What's up?
So it actually builds on this conversation. So Andrew Cuomo on Twitter just 15 minutes ago said, "We simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. We have nothing left to open. We must reopen the economy, but we must do it in a smart and safe way." He is now rotating. He is rotating, and that is what Trump got banned for. He is now.
Tweeted this?
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo literally just tweeted it.
Fuck you, Cuomo.
It's right here.
What did he say? Let's go see what.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I just want to see what it says. What does it actually say? Well, that's the pinned tweet from December 27th. So it's
January 11th, 2021.
Is
the New York governor's page. His New York governor.
Yeah, that's the one I'm on. So which tweet? What does it look like?
It's right here.
We simply cannot stay.
11:48 a.m. Yeah, there it is. Show Jimmy.
Yeah, until the cost is too high, we will have nothing left to open. We must reopen the account.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
good,
get
good
so
luck
banned for
keeping your
this.
tax base in New York. Like
Hold
it's
check.
hilarious because I'm hearing that all of these all the rich people are down in Miami now.
Fuck you, you murderous
Yeah,
bastard.
fuck you, you murderer. Send that shit. He did. He killed more people.
You know, Tone, next time, can you just wait 1 second so I could correct your spelling, man?
Oh, what do I misspell now?
Murderous. It's O-U-S at the end, not U-S.
I'm gonna delete that right away. Welcome to. I wasn't even paying attention. I just like.
Well, all right. So, that'll probably get you kicked off of Twitter, just so
Probably.
you know. Yeah. Can't you?
Let's do it. Let's get
backward
kicked off
forward or
Twitter.
something?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
To sign off on
I'm
that.
ready. Let's do it. Come on, Twitter. Kick me off. Let's do it. This is why my family is moving out of New York.
Well, they need to. I mean, whatever business they're in, unless it happens to be like grocery store or they work for the government, they're probably like in a pretty big bind. I love how these governors like to take credit for their sports teams,
Let's do it
as
again.
if they had anything to do with it.
Spell it for me. M-U-D.
M-U-R-D-E-R.
It's too early for me to do. I've been
O-U-S.
drinking all weekend. Like that?
No, O-U-S. O-U-S. No, D-E-R-O-U-S.
Got it.
I think you know how to spell that last word, so you're fine.
Dude, I can't believe that. Like this.
I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he actually came out and just said that. Like,
We will have nothing left to open. Yeah, because all of the people that would have opened it have gone bankrupt. So yeah, I mean that'll be true regardless. Anyway, can we go back to the price? Because I think everyone on the stream is pretty interested in what's going to happen. And I want to talk to you about that zone there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, in case I do get banned off Twitter, I was checking out, I don't know these guys. I only found out about this just the other day. Maybe Jimmy, you can look into it. I really hope they don't have a shitcoin because I don't really promote something that may have a shitcoin. I just created an account with Float. And it looks pretty cool because they have BTC Pay server integrated in the back, and you can have like donations through Bitcoin. It's like has full Bitcoin integration.
It's like Patreon / Twitter. Integrated. Okay.
Yeah, and it's got it's got a streaming ability as well. And someone told me about this last night, and I was like, I looked it up in like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, I need to create my account. So I went ahead and created my account on Float. And
okay. Well, I mean, not that many people are there because the main account there only has 4,300 followers. But you know what I mean? Honestly, I think we all have to start making backups to our Twitter somewhere. I already made one with the Mastodon stuff.
Right.
Which honestly, for some reason, I feel freer tweeting there, whatever I want to say, because I know I won't get trolled by as many people. But I don't know. Yeah.
So I've Tone Vays Mastodon.
So go to bitcoinhackers.org.
Yeah, I'm there. This is. Where's the Mastodon link? Mastodon. No. Where's my account on Mastodon? Shit, I actually got a pack for the airport soon. Look, I'm on there somewhere.
Let me look you up.
Oh, found it. Here's my Mastodon account. And but it's I created it years ago, and I don't even know what email I used to create it. This is the problem.
Well, ask Rodolfo. He's in charge of bitcoinhackers.org, and it's federated, so he could help you.
But anyone else can grab Tone Vays on any other instance, right?
Yeah, but I mean, this is where you announce to people on your website, this is mine. I mean, the scamming is going to happen regardless. That's just how it is. But you put it on the Tone Vays website, people can at least know instead of, doing whatever.
Well, tweet's doing okay.
Yeah. 67 likes already. Well, also you've been drinking a little bit this morning, so that might make a difference.
Might be crazier than all the other days, huh?
All right, Eric, so I just want to take a look at price and just ask you about a couple things. All right, so yeah, that's a good one. So what are you looking for as a reversal? Do you want like a
Right now.
quick wick down?
I mean, I think we already had it. I think a lot of this trouble had to do with all the exchanges being down today, from Coinbase to Kraken to others. To me, this is the dip. I didn't think it would go this deep either. I was looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction, and this is the second candle of the 4 candle correction. Now, I didn't think it would go this low. I thought it would go to like maybe 33,000, but we fell below 30, I think.
I don't think we've fallen below. Did we fall below 30?
No, 3,200. So almost below 30. And I think this is good enough. I mean, I bought the dip this morning, but I'm not ruling out a move to the 25 to 28 range. It's possible.
Well, yeah, generally whenever from like just kind of watching, I'm not a trader obviously, but from what I've observed, your general indicator is when you have like those dips where you have like 15 minutes to go buy it, right? Like those are what you're looking for as sort of like an end of a trend is, okay, especially on something this sharp, you have that knife where it just dips really quickly, gets into that range where somebody just dumps a lot essentially, and then it starts recovering from there. Do you think we're going to get one of those in this sort of range here into that?
We probably would have. Well, that's the thing. We would have if the exchanges weren't down, not allowing people to buy. So I think the dip is in. I think we're going to go up. But if we don't breach 30,000, I think there is still a high chance we breach it in February. I think there is I think this is where the masses start to get in, and then they learn a valuable lesson to make sure they have strong hands or not. So
yeah, I mean, what I want to see is like down to 28, because that's a nice 30% dip.
Yes,
and that
so 28 creates a bit of a problem for me, as I mentioned earlier. If we go to 28, it becomes a 50-50 shot whether we're ever going to go below 28. If we stay above 30 like now, I think there is still a high probability we have one more critical dip to the mid 20s. But if we fall to below 25 this week, I then think that's the ultimate low. I don't think we're ever going to go below 25. If we go to 25 or lower this month, I think this arrow now goes up to 30, and that's the dip.
Okay, so what you're essentially saying is that we're going to have a never look back price if we dip below 20 something, but
correct. Well, not 20, sorry. If we dip below 25, that will be the ultimate low. If we don't dip below 20, if we don't dip below 30, a sub 30 can still come later this quarter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to time my buy right now because I want to buy this dip.
I got in this morning, but if we go to 50-ish in January, I'm going to sell significantly and wait for a real pullback. So
because people have been saying that this might be one of those double top years, right? Like,
it is.
In which case, then I would expect the first top to be April-ish, and then the second top to be December-ish.
Well,
are you seeing it to be a little earlier?
That's the thing. It's always a combination of time and price. If we're moving up slowly, the top could be April. But if we start moving up really quickly, the top could be February. Like I think the first top is going to be between 60 and 100, and the second top is going to break 100. And again, I'm basing all that based on our shit political environment right now, which is only going to get crazier, like exponentially every day.
Yeah, This yeah, we have some decisions. If you want to buy,
I'm liking this bounce. I went in this morning.
Yeah, that looks like a reversal candle at the bottom there.
It is. I went in this morning. I went in at approximately the price we are at now, a little lower. So I got in here.
Does it look like a reversal candle on the 4?
The 4 is actually beautiful because the 4 is an MRI buy, which I was saying even yesterday. This is literally the 4-hour period to buy. That's MRI is loading. Give it a second.
Yeah,
that's going to be an MRI buy. So this is the 4-hour period to buy, and we're holding support. I got in right before that. I should have just waited a little bit. I forgot. I talked about it yesterday that this is going to be the 4-hour period to buy. I forgot to look at it this morning. So I got in right before this candle started. So I definitely could have got in at a better price, but I'm now up on my trade from this morning.
Okay, and then you'd wait for 50, sell, and then wait for the dip, and then go back in. Well, but then when do we get to 60 to 100? If that's happening in February,
right?
Like what? Draw something for me on like the weekly or daily.
Right. So here it is on the weekly. So the MRI top is coming in a few weeks. So I think our first top is coming in a few weeks. Now,
that's like early February then, not even late February.
Right. Now we could keep going. Like that's the thing that I don't like. I have no idea. But I think we're gonna break the high later this month. But will we pull back all the way or will we go higher? Like anything above 40, anything close to 45,000 or higher is good enough is the minimum requirement for the first bubble top for the year. It's a minimum requirement. It's a minimum time requirement going into February, minimum price requirement, 45K. Now the upper end of that.
Oh my gosh, it's recovered like $2,000 since I got on the screen. That's crazy.
Now the upper end of the first bubble is something like April, May, and something like 100K. That's the upper end. So the upper end, you add a couple of months and you double the price. That's the upper end. Then a significant pullback followed by one more push that could last into next year. And I think that push is going to go 150K easy. Like I'm really, really bullish right now. All right, sure. I got to say goodbye to Socrates. What's up? Oh, you're so good. Oh, yeah.
He's not leaving.
But yeah, Jimmy, I'm spending tonight in Houston, and then I'm coming to Austin on Tuesday.
Okay. Are you taking like the bus from Houston to Austin, or?
No, I got a ride.
Okay. All right. Nice.
I'm just a traveling bum now without a home, and I'm basically like I just announced who wants to give me a ride from Houston to Austin, and I get a bunch of takers within a few hours. I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Like, whose couch can I stay on? Like, as long as you're anti-mask and your city is anti-mask, I'm in. Which I'm now down to Florida, Texas, or Mexico. Brazil is about to start implementing PCR tests, which ironically have been announced to be bullshit by the CDC, but countries are starting to adapt them more now.
Yep, everyone's 6 months behind because that's how slow that stuff moves. Okay, so all right, if you are buying the dip, this might be done or it might go lower. I guess there's no.
No one really knows, but I'm trusting my TA, and I already bought this dip this morning, and I don't really care about Tether, guys. We don't care about Tether. If Tether implodes, it will only spike Bitcoin.
I don't know where all that Tether FUD started coming.
I know.
That seems to have like resurrected from the dead again. It's like a zombie FUD item.
Everyone's moving to Florida. I'm about to start shopping for a home for a house for my parents. That's it. Like New York is done. New York is done. Cuomo killed it. Cuomo and de Blasio killed New York, just like Newsom killed California. They're done.
You have a house out there? Yep. Yeah, I'll hook you up, dude. When we're out there.
I'm gonna be getting on the road.
All right, man. Socrates is out. Say goodbye. Let me stop the screen share here. Hold on.
See you, man.
There you go. He's heading out. I got my flight in a few hours. We're still staying with you guys for the stream. We got 3,000 people watching, so we'll stick around. And the price is starting to rebound again.
Oh, did you see your super chat there?
What do I get?
You bought the MRI dip.
Nice. Joined last old season. Awesome.
Well, thanks, Anton. It was a
Have a longer term time horizon. Hey, it's been great. Thanks for picking it up, for getting the house, and it's awesome.
You got it.
All right.
I'll catch you next
Thanks for
time.
the biscuits and gravy token.
All right, guys. Let's go back to screen share. We're not gonna last too long on this. Where's my screen share?
Jimmy, did you see that Kraken's API keys went down, and that and some of the other when Coinbase went down, and then like some of the forex markets were having like a glitch this morning all at the same time? Like there was it seemed like a coordinated cyber attack almost or something.
Yeah, I wonder. Or it could be that they're banning the wrong things or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, I bought this dip also. If you did have MRI, I showed it this morning, like the Ethereum chart. It's like textbook MRI sell on Ethereum.
Can you look at the FBTC chart? Because I feel like that would be a little more relevant to the people watching this.
Wait, FBT, like the Bcash chart?
No, ETH BTC. Compare it against Bitcoin.
Oh, no, I have that here as well. And we
Uh-huh.
looked at it last night. Unfortunately, this looks bullish, which fucking sucks.
That does kind of look bullish.
Forming this stupid triangle. Anyway, let's go back to Bitcoin. I'm liking this 4-hour candle, guys. I really am. It's down. It's hour and a half in of a 4-hour candle. If it closes like this or higher, this could have been the dip. I'd be happy that I bought it this morning.
It looks a little double bottomish though. No,
Not really. It depends how this candle ends.
uh-huh.
It depends how this candle. It certainly doesn't on the daily. That's the real important one. And we still have 7 hours to go. And if this candle can close us above 35K, that's bullish as hell. I'm gonna expect 45 by end of month.
Which would be interesting.
Am I moving out of the country or to Florida? I am. I have all my options open, but I can tell you this: I will. I don't even want to visit a communist state at this point, which is California, New York, and a few others.
Let's make a last stand in Texas and Florida, guys, and then if we can't hold it off there, let's go to Mexico. Let's go somewhere else.
Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming. Yeah.
So GBTC is the premium was so low that GBTC is doing just fine. Where the hell's my GBTC chart?
Well, so do you think that's because of the new fund that's like 75 basis points instead of 2% that GBTC is charging?
That would actually raise the premium. So the premium, so Barry Silver charges you a 2% maintenance fee on the fund, but the premium is driven by low liquidity on the open market of GBTC shares, which he also takes a premium on to manage. But if less people are investing in his trust, if less qualified investors are investing in his trust, that means there will be less GBTC shares on the open market for guys like me to speculate on, which means higher GBTC premium because of low liquidity.
That's counterintuitive. I would think that a lot of people would just look at the spread and say, let's just go do this.
No, but Jimmy, see, those other funds, they're not, I can't trade them in my retirement account. Like they don't have a ticker on the stock market.
Right.
So the ticker on the stock market only has X number of shares, and they can't just create new shares. So
I see.
They can only create new shares when investors in the trust want to get out and liquidate when their term period is up. So if less people are investing in the underlying Bitcoin, there will be less GBTC shares created in the future, which means more restricted supply, more volatility in GBTC premium in uptrends.
Makes sense.
So, and the GBTC premium is low. Like I said, I picked up GBTC this morning at about a little bit lower than current price. So I'm doing fine on my GBTC buy. And I want to see this gap close. I want to see it like this. I want to see this sucker, open in a couple of days back at 47. And the next time GBTC premium will spike.
So right now it's trading as if it were 37,000.
Correct. So that's the premium right now is 22%. It was 17% this morning when I bought.
Interesting. They're buying that's probably the only place you can actually go buy since everything's down.
Right.
Okay, interesting.
I don't see a Bitcoin ETF coming in a year or two. So your GBTC premium advantage is still there if you know how to use it.
Oh, VanEck just apply for one. Yeah.
We're still rallying.
We might close this 4-hour candle pretty high. If it,
right.
you said if it breaks 35 on this candle, you think it's gonna go super
high? If we break 35 on the daily, if the daily closes above 35, I think that's it. Those that didn't buy this dip missed it. But they may get another shot. If we do close above 35 and go higher into next week, then these arrows move up and this arrow comes down.
I see.
But
we also go higher on the high end. Yeah.
Well, right. If this arrow has to come down, then this arrow potentially goes up. So when do you want your pain? Now or later? And you don't have any control. You just gotta time the market right.
Wow. Yeah, I would like to see a nice 30% correction. I don't think we've had something like that yet. This was pretty close. I think it was like 26, 27%, right?
This was about 28, 29%.
Bottoms in. Peter Schiff just tweeted 3 minutes ago, Bitcoin's crashing. It's going to zero. Bottoms in.
He's
a good indicator.
Yeah, Schiff's great. Yeah, we went 27.5%. Oh, 28% down.
Yeah.
But that's 28% on the wicks, but only about 20% on candle closes, which is not enough for a real correction, which is why if we don't go any lower, this is going to go down. Like we're going to get our 40% correction. It's coming. The question is when. If we do not fall sub 28,000 this week, then a correction from say 50 to 28 is coming, or 25.
So the next couple of days, it's going to be something interesting to watch.
Oh yeah. I'm liking this. Like I said, I was talking about the 4-hour MRI buy on last night's stream. It's working out exactly as stated. We're already breaking 33K right now. We hit 33K on this 4-hour candle, 32,990. That's 33 to me. And let's see how high this candle closes. I think people are buying this dip, and as it starts to go up, more people will be interested in buying this dip.
It's a big dip here.
Yeah,
does look like a nice sharp knife though.
From yeah, there it is. People liking the tweet.
I thought you were leaving. Yeah, nice.
Well, where I live doesn't matter. I could be a foreigner, which I kind of sort of am. It's just Cuomo and de Blasio. They literally killed New York and killed people in New York by the way they handled COVID. So no, I'm not apologetic for that tweet. I mean, he literally put like COVID positive people in nursing homes.
Yeah. He's I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the game that these Democrats are playing, because if you don't win permanently, you are going to get slaughtered. What?
No, I spelled it right. Okay.
FBI just said armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals.
Wait, what?
Their FBI just posted that there's armed protests being planned at all 50 state capitals and Washington D.C. on Biden's inauguration day. ABC.
How would they know that?
They're putting it out. They're saying they're looking for this. I saw it earlier. I just want to make sure we got the confirmation.
Like, how would they know that?
I mean, I'm sure they have informants and stuff.
Everyone's chat rooms.
No, it's bullshit. There's no way.
I'm sure they're just putting it out there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Microsoft pulls contributions on political contributions. Microsoft just did everyone. They didn't choose. They did both.
Yeah.
16 minutes ago. Parler sues Amazon for antitrust violations.
They should.
Yep.
They should.
They're not
This
going
is
to
all
win
zero.
that. Good luck getting a judge in California to agree with you.
Yep. Yeah, look, GBTC is rallying back to 38. Price is rallying above 33,000.
Over 33. Yeah.
Yep, there it is. There was your 4-hour buy. The 1 hour is going to miss the MRI bottom. It was a couple of hours off, but that's why you don't wait on the 4-hour time frame trumps the 1 hour time frame, and the 4-hour time frame called it.
Wow, that looks nice.
Yep, Fiboswani got in at 30,000 based on his Fibonacci's. Lots of technical analysis called for this to be a buy the dip situation.
Also, the volume looks like it spiked right at the dip there, so always a good sign. That was the big dump that everyone picked up, I guess. Yeah, whenever there's a dip, it looks like somebody's buying. So, I mean, that looks to be sort of like what's going on.
Well, I think everyone's buying. I think retail's coming in right now. I think this next push is going to be the retail rally. I think this is the retail rally right here. And I don't know how far it's going to go, but I'm thinking at least 45K.
I think that looks a little bit conservative.
It's a little bit conservative. I say at least 45K. But it's also time-wise. I mean, my MRI counts will flip soon, and we'll start another trend. So we got, this is the daily chart. We'll have like 9 more days of upside because the weekly is coming up on its MRI buy. So it'd be nice to get this, up to 55, 60. It'd be great. But that would be a complete blow off top. We are going up a little exponential here.
Oh, totally. I mean, we doubled in like 23 days or something.
Yeah, but this is great. The 4 hour is now above 33, stabilizing, and here we go.
Yeah, it looks really nice right now.
No, so the FBI just randomly announced that every single state is going to have armed protests. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's like a general statement.
Yeah.
That's insane. There's no specifics there. It's more like stay in your homes. Don't stay in your basement.
Because they're probably going to try to push the governors to all declare state of emergencies and stuff like that to lock it down even harder. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's the most general statement ever.
Yeah.
It's like every state is going to have an armed protest that will shoot you. Like, get the hell out of here. All right. Look at this candle, man. We're still moving up. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy and Tone. You seem a bit down lately. Get that smile. No, we're not happy with the current political environment.
I'm happy because of Bitcoin. I mean, I'd be a lot more depressed if I was on, I was thinking.
You were Peter Schiff?
No, just like if Bitcoin didn't exist. So
yeah. Oh man, but like like, I don't know what the world, if Bitcoin didn't exist, wow, are we all fucked? Like, Bitcoin is the only thing right now that can save this planet. Like literally. Look, 33 and a half, man. We're rallying.
Yeah.
We are rallying.
Really good.
This feels very, very bullish to me.
Yep.
I think a lot of the technical analysis traders that had bots on Coinbase and Kraken, since it went down, they wanted to get in this dip all at once. I think all of them tried to get in all at once, and it took it down. And now that the keys are the APIs are getting back online, I think their bots are starting to eat this up now. That's probably what we'll see. Yeah.
If we, I mean, this rally, I mean, like I said, I am really bullish right now. I'm loving this dip. People are asking, should they buy the dip?
Absolutely.
Look, guys, you do whatever you like. I bought the dip this morning. I bought it first thing in the morning when we fell that first time. That's what I did. You guys can do whatever you like. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I bought it here. I bought this dip, 9 a.m. We went lower, but I was still bullish, especially on a 4-hour candle. I should have stayed a little more patient, but like, I just took it because GBTC gave me a good premium entry. And I'm now up on that trade.
The New York State Bar Association is looking to remove Rudy Giuliani's license to be a lawyer.
Of course they are.
This is New York State.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like sort of this was the purpose of all of that convergence, I guess.
Yep.
Right. This is just like, again, guys, please go to my Twitter, which I may not have for in the near future, and like, watch this video where like doctors are losing their licenses for treating people with COVID in ways that like actually treats them within days, and they're losing their licenses for it. This is the world you live in, and I don't know how to get away from that world. Trump's speaking at 1:30. What time zone? We're in Florida. Jimmy, I've been so fucked up. We're in Florida, and we're on a different time zone. Like, I'm on your time zone while in Florida.
Wait, so you're in the Panhandle?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean that's how it is.
Yeah.
And that totally messed me up because of that, I missed an interview with Raoul Paul.
What?
Right. I was supposed to do Raoul Paul was supposed to interview me like 3 days ago when I first got here, my first morning here. And it took us like 6 weeks to schedule it. And then I miss it because of freaking Florida time zones.
Yeah, sorry, man. They have 2 time zones in Florida, so that's how it is.
And I used to live like 2 hours away from here back in the day, and I had no idea there was another time zone.
Well, it's because the Panhandle's to the west. That's how it is. Kind of makes sense. I mean, at least we're not like China. I think China has 1 time zone for the entire country. It's about as wide too.
Yep. Yeah, Tone, you have to send Jimmy that video of the time zone.
Oh yeah, no, he knows.
That was insane. How Arizona has 7 time zones inside of itself.
Well, they just keep flipping back and forth based on where in Arizona you are.
Right.
All right. Anyway, yeah, Trump is speaking in about 45 minutes. I'm going to be heading to the airport. I can always watch it on the way to the airport. That's not a problem.
What's he speaking about? I mean, this is one of those things that everyone has been kind of waiting to hear from him because everything's sort of been a little weird the last few days. And obviously, if they got votes for impeachment, that's something. And he's probably going to want to defend himself.
All right, I'm still on screen share, but we're mostly looking at price. We still pumping?
Don Jr. just retweeted Cuomo's brilliant strategist.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get going, guys. There's nothing more I can say. We still have 3,000 live viewers. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Jimmy Songs. It's just my Mastodon account. I'll have to message Rodolfo, see if I can get it back.
There's a forgot your password or something in the login, no?
No, but I don't even know what email I have. So I don't even know, like, forgot your password, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, they'll let you know if that email doesn't exist in the database, probably. So
maybe, but also I may not have access to that email anymore. I did a lot of like switching around. Like I bricked some email addresses.
Okay, well, I just see what you could message Rodolfo. He'll help you out. There's a reason why his logo's down there.
Hi, Tone. If the Chinese miners go down, what happens to Bitcoin? Nothing really. Just,
About 50% of the hash rate is in China right now, so the other 50% would go fine. So you'll just get 20-minute blocks.
We'll have a tough few months with Bitcoin transactions, but they'll be fine.
No. It'll be 2 weeks. That's how long it takes for the difficulty to readjust. Now, it's 2016 blocks, so that'll take a month, but that's it.
Right, that's what I mean, right? Like it'll adjust, but it'll take us like the next block could take like 3 days to find.
Well, just 20 minutes it should be, because about half the miners are outside of China now. And I didn't know this, but 8% of hashing power is right now in Iran.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they care.
8% of hashing power is out of Iran.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good for Iran.
Jimmy, did you see that the Russian oil companies are starting to hook up Bitcoin miners?
Yeah, so Russia is another. So it was in my newsletter this morning, but yeah, Russia is looking into like pretty much free electricity because they're like burning a lot of it off. But there's another one, another country, I think Kazakhstan or somebody that's got it. So yeah, you got a few books of mine.
Oh, Jimmy, I bought your book for my dad, who's a really big Christian.
Thank God for Bitcoin. Yeah.
Thank God for Bitcoin. Here you go. Thank you. Yeah, it's we've been the book's been doing really well, surprisingly so, at least in my view. So yeah, very happy about it. The Little Bitcoin book. This is another book that I've written, and yeah, I mean, it's crazy how a lot of the stuff that we said in that book about like, what's coming, it's starting to come to pass. So Nigeria is one of the biggest proponents of Bitcoin right now, and it's because of sort of they're going to be the first. They're probably going to be one of the first to really go on a Bitcoin standard instead of the Naira or whatever. And
yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna happen fast. I think this U.S. dollar implosion. I mean, we are back down to 32.6, but I'm still bullish here. I'm still liking my 4-hour reversal, and just a little. I think the dip is in. I'm happy with my buy the dip strategy this morning.
How are your volume bars, Tom? What are your volume bars?
These are the volume bars.
Oh, those are yours?
Oh, no. Mine is just only the color difference. The size won't change. It's just like mine just adjusts color for traders.
Oh, okay.
No. Gotcha. The volume is volume. It's just the color.
Gotcha. But yeah, Jimmy, when my dad, he agrees with me about the fiat system and the Federal Reserve and all that stuff. Like, he will agree with you all day long, but he just thinks it's futile to try to fight it because we're human beings and we're just flawed and we can't escape it. And what I keep trying to explain to him is, no, God gave us like the ability to escape this. It's in there. He missed that part. And so I think when you read your book, you're going to draw the connections in his mind and wake him up. I think it's really, if he reads it, it's going to be huge for him. I appreciate it.
I hope so. I've heard that from a lot of people where they read the book and they bought Bitcoin afterwards. So that's a good sign, because I mean, if he knows a lot of that, he might want to read the last chapter first, because it just sort of lays out the argument straight up, and then he can go back and read the rest. But yeah.
Cool. I'll tell him that.
All right, guys, we got to get going. I got to get packing. I got to head to the airport. I'm going to Houston tonight. I may tweet out. I'm doing dinner with a couple of people in Houston, and we may have 2 seats at our little steak dinner. I will probably.
So you have a steak dinner in Houston tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
somebody.
So we'll have to arrange something when you're in town.
Yeah, we will.
So you'll be here on Tuesday.
Yeah, but it's not like an official steak dinner. It's just someone that because I was just gonna go to Houston and try to get a ride to Austin, but then someone in Houston said, "Hey, Tone, I got an apartment you can stay at. Would love to take you out for a steak." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'll spend the night in Houston." And he invited a few people, so it's not like a carnivory dinner, but it was just he's like, "Hey, I saved you 2 seats in case you
I
wanna
just
invite
like
2
eating
people."
steaks. So
Yeah.
no problem with that.
And then I'm in Austin the following day.
Okay, all right. So it's Wednesday. You'll be here. All right. So
Tuesday. I'm there tomorrow.
you're there tomorrow.
I'm in
So
Houston
you're
tonight.
gonna have the. Okay, all right. So
Yeah, I'm in Houston
all
tonight.
right.
and
So
then
how long
Austin.
are you here? Let's figure out like when.
You know, I'm staying at a friend's, a friend that you know. Don't want to dox people. People will probably know. One of your co-authors, and we'll see. As long as I'm allowed to stay there, maybe till Friday or something. I don't know. I don't want to overstay my welcome. And then
I
I'm
think
probably
hotels are pretty cheap right now. No, I don't know.
What is?
Hotels and Airbnb.
Not
and
in
stuff?
Austin, man. There's no room in Austin. Austin is expensive. Airbnbs aren't bad. No, but I want to hang out with people. You know, like the whole point is I'm not traveling to stay at a hotel. I'm traveling to stay with friends. So I want to do that. Like, I don't want to stay at a hotel. I'll go back to Florida and stay there. And after that, it's either going to be DC. It depends on what's going on there for inauguration, or I'm just going to go back to Florida and then probably Mexico.
Okay, well, there's I think
phenomenal.
Bitcoin devs meet up on the 20th, so you might want to stay until then.
Oh, really?
I have no idea. Yeah.
All right, I may stay till 20. I was going to stay that long, but that's all right.
Well, I mean, up to you. You know, obviously there are other considerations. So, yeah.
All right, guys, I got a pack and I got a jet.
All right, Fiat the Lendas. This song is done.
Later, guys.